Hi, I'm Darren Guccione, the managing editor at Crain Chicago Business and the producer of Entrepreneurs in Action, this show, where in the last year we've introduced you to more than a dozen Chicago entrepreneurs, the men and women slugging it out on the front lines of the city's economy. As the year comes to a close, we decided to gather a small group of those entrepreneurs to discuss the year that was, the road ahead, and the state of entrepreneurship in Chicago. I've asked that group to meet me here at Half Acre Beer Company, the subject of our June show. The guys are all waiting inside. Let's get a beer. You know, 2009, late 2008 was one of the toughest economic climates any of us have ever lived through and hopefully ever will live through. Tell me what you've learned in the last year, running your business.
There's been a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities in the last year. And I think, you know, being able to take advantage of the opportunities while dealing with sort of a razor focus on the challenges is what allows us, you know, to thrive. I mean, that's sort of the magic of being an entrepreneur, is that you have the flexibility, the malleability to bob and weave. And in times like these, you have to do a lot of bobbing and weaving. I mean, you're cutting at the meat and you're also pushing product out the door and trying to do a better job of managing your bottom line while making your top line grow.
Looking for opportunities and not getting hung up on the press. There are lots of opportunities when the economy goes down, and generally it's different ways of doing things. I know at Total Attorneys, our customers are looking for ways to streamline their own offices, and that means they're looking for different solutions and shaking things up. And for a new company that's an upstart, I think sometimes a downturn actually provides opportunity if that company is willing to go out and hire good people, which are in the market, and willing to try and do something that actually benefits the businesses they're serving by either cutting their costs or driving business to them.
I think the key in terms of focusing is we tend not to really focus and worry about, okay, what do we have to worry about? What are our customers worried about? Because then we start addressing those things. So dropping price points, modifying your product offerings to basically facilitate the fact that people just can't afford as much, right? Their disposable income has dropped. So it really focused us to move quickly and come up with different bundled solutions to really sell into those markets, and we did it successfully.
I think this economic downturn in some ways creates opportunity, and for folks like us that make beer, it's a great time for people to, you know, some people, they might not be going out and buying new cars and larger expenditures, but they will treat themselves to creature comfort that treat themselves nicely in some way. So I think we've benefited from that, but also we've had the opportunity to get a lot of great help here, whether it be part-time or full-time, that we might not have been able to get if the economy was a bit more robust. So people that are very educated, maybe have a bit more free time and are willing to lend a hand here with us at a very affordable price. So I think we've benefited in a lot of ways.
I mean, I think we struggle from the banks not lending as much money. As we look at getting into 2010, we're realizing that banks are not going to be lending us the type of money we need just to run the monthly operations and handle cash flow issues. So we're going to probably have to be looking for growth equity. Whereas 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I don't think that would have been the case. I think banks would have been a little more willing to, you know, continue to up our revolving line of credit. You know, I think they just get uncomfortable with any business, even if it's doing well or not. And I think that's going to hurt a lot of companies. I mean, we hired 100 people this year. I'd like to do the same thing next year, but without the availability of, you know, handling that monthly cash flow issue where you've got to pay your employees, you send out invoices, and then you pay your vendors, and then the invoices start getting paid. You know, it becomes a challenge. And I think that's directly related towards, you know, banks just being a lot more skittish about what they're doing with their money.
And before we go on, either of you other guys have trouble with banks and credit markets in the last year?
Yeah, we've absolutely been impacted by it. Our lender, you know, was one of those banks that had issues, you know, internally. So their issues, you know, impacted a wide area of customers. The lender was basically heavy into real estate. We're not in real estate, we're in tech. And the good customers wind up paying for those bad customers, you know, indirectly. The TARP money comes in, and for whatever reason, it doesn't find its way out of the bank all the time because it was really brought in to bolster their balance sheets. So it's definitely impacted us. I mean, our line of credit was cut in half. So you got to figure things out, and that's what we had to do.